Hello,
Hi.
Mr. Folkunger.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for accepting our interview. We are very pleased to have you here and to hear your voice, and it is very useful for the SEANERGY project. So we can start with the first question. My first question is, how many investments in terms of capital expenditure amount have you done last year about energy transition and green policies? And if you want to describe the type of investment.
Yes. It's a bit of a difficult question to answer for us because our port is in the process of moving from the west to the east, or shall we say glide. So it's a multi-year process. I think we've been in that process for about 10 years, and that involves a lot of continuous investments. I think it's 1.5 billion Swedish crowns or something along those lines. And a lot of the projects that we do, of course, take aim at the future and meeting the future needs of our customers. So it's kind of hard to specify to one year, but off the top of my head, last year we did risk assessment analysis to be able to bunker LNG ship to ship in ports. We did a climate assessment in accordance with the greenhouse gas protocol. So it's our port, but it's also upstream and downstream. And we are also investing in a project where we're using the results from the climate assessment to sort of guide our actions, because in that we learned that the majority of the emissions that are tied to our port actually stem from the trucks, because we're almost exclusively a ro-ro port, and the ships is actually a minor part. So our philosophy is that the fuels that the ships that our ferries want, they will get one way or another, but we also have to focus a lot on the truck and the land side of things, because that's where a large part of our emissions are. We also invested in doing preparatory work to apply for wind turbines, and they're coming up now in the next year. And we invested about €1 million into sewage treatment plants so that we can receive the sewage from all the ships. So yeah, there's a lot of things, and of course a lot of the investments are part of EU projects, so they're sort of baked into a massive cake. But yeah, there's a lot of
If you want
investments.
to remind something about the port you are working
Yes,
for, your role.
So I'm the head of environment and sustainability in the port of Trelleborg, and our port is a bit unique in the sense that we're not a landlord-based operation. We have the landlord function, but it's ours. So we own the land, but we also have the operations. So we have no external operators or anybody coming into port. We own everything ourselves, which is quite an advantage because it allows us a lot of flexibility in terms of what we want to do. It's not a long decision process. Like one guy across the hall once has an idea that we should do something, and we ask another guy in the other end of the building, and we do it. Okay. Basically, yes, we have. We used to say that we have about 4 customers, which is a bit of simplification, but it's our 4 shipping companies. Okay. It's TT Line, Stena Line, Unity Line, and FRS. And all together, they own about 15 or so ferries. So that also simplifies things for us, because it's a limited group of actors that we're dealing with and communicating with. So we have a proximity that perhaps is somewhat unique, I'd say.
Thank you. Moving to my second question. What kind of support or incentives would be helpful for promoting energy transition in ports, in your opinion?
I think that the key is communication. More so than anything else. Even in a system as small as ours, we are not, as a port, included in the decision process around buying new ships. A lot of the ferries in our port are very old. I think the average age is about 26 or 27 years old. So they might still have a few years, but we're facing a point where the fleet will inevitably be renewed, and we are not, for many understandable reasons, involved in the process surrounding, okay, what fuels, like what ferry are we going to buy? So basically we have to adapt once the decision is already made, and my fear is that our customers will decide on different fuel pathways. And since our port is right next to the city of Trelleborg, we will struggle to have every single fuel. If we want hydrogen, ammonia, methanol, if we want like a fuel buffet, it will be hard to provide, considering our proximity to the city, because there are a lot of risk aspects that come into play, and it would be incredibly difficult to get permits to store all those fuels. So I think communication and as much transparency as possible in this commercial hard side of it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And finally, I would like to ask you if you want to cite any success story in your area, that you want to mention.
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest success in all of this is all of the collaborations that we have. For example, in Sweden, we have a network of Swedish ports, and there is a branch of that, which is the environmental branch. So we meet regularly, and we have very good cooperation and very good dialogue, and we help each other, and we exchange information, and we visit each other, and we ask each other, how did you do that? How did you do that? And we would like to do the same thing. How should we go about it? And I think that's a very nice, successful part of this whole transition, is that there's a goodwill. This is not an area where we are competitors. This is an area where we are helping each other, and we have really, really good relationships that we are constantly expanding all the time with universities and students and wherever there's a benefit for somebody.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.